Well, there you go. There we go. Part 2 on the way back. We watched the game. It was fun stuff, huh, fella? Huh?
Yeah, it was. Great result.
Yeah, no, congratulations.
Let's go Tritons, baby.
Congratulations to your UC San Diego Tritons. Beating the Cal State Fullerton Titans this evening out at Anteater Ballpark. The final score was 5-1. We were 12 minutes off on our prediction. The game ended in 2 hours and 45 minutes. We were kind of close, but not quite. But yeah, congratulations to UC San Diego. But you know what, man? I think you and I both agree that's what sports is supposed to be like, right? I mean, couldn't ask for a better seat, better view, better atmosphere. Yeah, Friday Night Lights baseball edition, some West Coast baseball, college baseball. You know, we talked about it. Yeah. You know, the go-ahead run was on a suicide squeeze.
We saw a suicide squeeze. We saw some bunting. It was beautiful, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what sports is about right there. You know, it was a great time. It was a great atmosphere. We had that Cal State Fullerton guy who was screaming the whole game. And
it's like Noah Syndergaard.
He
really let himself go.
Yeah, Thor took over the ultra section for Cal State Fullerton, and then you know, the Tritons had their ultras, and we were smack dab in the middle, right behind home plate. You know, since we got a Triton and a Titan here, and yeah, we had a great time, man.
We went back to college.
Yeah, you know, and that's kind of the theme for what we got going on. You know, D and Neghabat back to college, man. You know, just being on campus at UCI, a school that neither one of us went to, but you know, there's a lot of history and familiarity there for different reasons. You know, and so it's a university, you know, UCI even in many ways has a special place in my heart, and obviously go Titans, baby. But yeah, just, you know, I think you and I were kind of talking about it throughout the game, and it's just, it's always, there's nothing like being back on a college campus and revisiting those fun memories from back in the day, and, you know, it's just, it brings back positive moments, right? Where bittersweet in many ways, especially for you and I, because I know our collegiate experiences came to an abrupt end because of the whole COVID thing, which we could probably dedicate a couple of hours to. And you know, just kind of the abruptness of how that ended, and the lack of clarity maybe of how it could have ended. But you know, at the same time too, I think, you know, as sad as that what if may be, I think in many ways, I don't think we'd be here today had it not played out the way that it did. So, you know, I guess as we always like to say, two things can be true at once. And I think this is one of those perfect examples where, you know, even though it was bittersweet in that aspect, I think we wouldn't be the people that we are and can be in the future had we not experienced these different things of all the different ranges of emotions, right? Because, you know, it's the positivity of the collegiate experience, and then that bittersweetness of just kind of the abrupt ending of it. But just walking around the UCI campus afterwards for a little bit, just being around, even though, you know, obviously, you know, it wasn't super busy or anything, but just walking around, being around, you know, it brings back that positive energy, and it was great to see just the atmosphere of the game too, with the, you know, a lot of alumni and some parents of the players, I'm sure, and, you know, some of the ultras, and just kind of, you know, the only thing missing, we didn't get any tarps off action, but I guess our guy Thor came pretty close.
Yeah. All the tarps off guys, they're in Anaheim, man. They're taking care of business.
Yeah, tomorrow night they got the Artie Moreno protest out there in Anaheim too. We talked about that earlier.
It's tomorrow night?
I think so.
Oh,
I think it's tomorrow night. Yeah, be show out, be loud, stay proud. Angels Revolution, right?
Yeah.
Viva la Revolution. Wow, words are difficult, man, especially at this hour of the night. But no, we had a great time, man. It was a great game, even though the Titans lost. Obviously, I tip my cap to the Tritons. You know, it's a shame that, you know, didn't get to see Jackson Flora yesterday out of Santa Barbara carve up my Titans. You know, that's going to be first pitcher off the board in July. I mean, that stat line's absurd, man. It was 11-0, 1.05 ERA, and 94 1/3. He struck out like 130 people, 120, like 30 walks.
Is he really gonna be the first pitcher off the board?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. Back-to-back years, Santa Barbara will have the first pitcher off the board. Although we'll talk about it later. My guy out of LSU too, Cade Anderson, going to the Mariners. Last year, after the Angels took Tyler Brenner too, Cade Anderson's going to be in that big league rotation for the Mariners pretty soon. That guy's absolutely killing it in the
Mariners
Mariners.
can pitch. Dude.
Yeah, the Mariners can pitch, and they got some good bats on the farm system too. We'll do a farm system deep dive hopefully sometime next week. We still got to do the NBA draft combine
They just called up our
recap.
boy
Colt Emerson. That's right. Colt Emerson got called up to the big leagues. Even though the Mariners maybe haven't had the start to the season that they might have wanted, coming off being a game away from the World Series last year, they still got a really good farm, and
they got a mulligan by playing in the division that they play in, which is at this point not in the greatest of states. I mean,
yeah.
I think last I checked, the A's were in first place, and they were maybe a game above 500 or something like that. So
yeah, I mean, you mentioned, we could bash the Angels all night, and then the Astros are entering a new phase of their organizational transition, and then you've got on top of that,
Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers are just kind of stuck in that mediocrity spot a little bit at the moment.
Corey Seager's having a tough year, man.
Yeah, I feel for Corey Seager, man. I mean, with Corey Seager, it's always been just the health. Whenever he plays, he's always been great.
He's hurt again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just one of those guys, sadly, that it just feels like he's never on the field.
You don't think Jake Berger can take them to the promised land?
Jake Berger, man. I remember when Jake Berger first came up. Man, that's a throwback. There's so many guys from back in the day that you have like these associations to. Even like when they get drafted, when they play in college, like we're watching this college baseball game. Just being in one of those atmospheres, it takes you back down memory lane. You start thinking about all the players you've watched over the years, and even like with the Titans, I can go back and I remember Matt Chapman obviously is one, but like for whatever reason, what I always remember, I have this. There was one year I remember very young, huh?
Kurt Suzuki?
No, not because of Kurt Suzuki. No, I was gonna make a real back in the fall. I remember one year they hosted a regional. I couldn't have been. I think I was in elementary school at the time. And they had Noe Ramirez on the mound.
Really?
Yeah. That's the Cal State Fullerton team I always remember as a kid, like from them being in the postseason. I think it was a Friday night game. They were on ESPNU. It was at Cal State Fullerton. Noe Ramirez was on the bum. And that's, he ended up getting drafted. Yeah, I think, he pitched out of the bullpen for a couple of years. But he was a starter back at Fullerton. And yeah, Fullerton's had a lot of guys over the years. I remember when we were in college, they made the postseason, and then they played Long Beach State in the Super Regional, best of 3. And I remember I went with my dad to one of those games, and they beat Long Beach, and that was a great atmosphere. Big West baseball, and honestly Big West and sports in general, man, I think that's like one of the last great bastions of American sports. It doesn't feel like it's been like it hasn't sold its soul just yet. It was a very refreshing day. We came on here earlier and we were talking about life and death and freaking out a little bit, driving ourselves crazy. And
well, I mean, I speak for yourself.
I mean, me, yeah, you were chilling, man. I was freaking myself out. But you know what?
You're a heart attack, man.
Yeah, probably. But
that was good. I mean, okay,
no, but you know what? That's why I've always loved sports, even dating back to when I was a kid, is because, as a child till now, what I've always loved about sports is that it brings people together, right?
Yeah.
It's something that no matter what's going on in the world, either in the world in general, in our own personal lives, and our own inner demons that we deal with on a daily basis, whenever that game's going on, whether it's a baseball game, a basketball game, football, soccer, hockey, whatever it is, you can just immerse yourself in that action and completely forget about what it is you were worried about beforehand. You can just turn your brain off and just enjoy it. And I think that's what I've always loved about sports, and it's what's always tickled my brain in many ways, is that I feel like it's one of the few things that brings people together. And I think, that's what I've always loved about it. We'll talk a lot about the World Cup. That's one of the many beauties of the World Cup, right? Is bringing people together and from different walks of life. And tonight was really good. It was really therapeutic. They always say, you got to talk about things, and then sometimes you just have to be around not only the people that you care about, but doing the things that you love, man. And it'd been, I don't think in 27 years, I don't think I ever watched a baseball game at UCI until today, which is kind of sad to think about, but it was just an amazing game, even though the Titans lost. Just being in that ballpark, super intimate, which all the big West ballparks that I've been to, whether it's Fullerton, Long Beach, Irvine, they don't have any seating in the outfield. You just sit you're pretty much right behind home plate. Everything's bunched up together. You can hear everybody. You can hear the players. You can hear the managers. You can hear the fans. Everything, it's just a super intimate atmosphere. And that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, and that's why I'm excited to bring you to the champ and come in July.
Yeah, we're gonna do one of these live from the champ.
Second division soccer, support our local Orange County Soccer Club.
There you go, Orange County.
We got a professional club in the great city of Irvine, California. So we're gonna.
Don't you wish we kind of had promotion relegation a little bit so we could get them in the MLS? That'd be fun,
that
huh?
Could be a whole
conversation,
whole series.
Yeah, there you go. So
imagine promotion, relegation, and like the MLB or NFL.
I mean, they'd never go for it, but they really should, man.
They never would, but imagining
they should.
Yeah,
baseball especially needs it too, man.
Yeah, well,
your guy Artie Moreno's gonna get the Angels relegated. Oh man. But you know what, man? I think that's a great point. Supporting your local, just being able to be around a community of people that are rowing the same boat and banging the same drum. I would love. Yeah, we got to do one of these live from the champ. We'll do. Maybe we'll get into the ultra section and we'll go tarps off and we'll start singing and chanting for 90 minutes and. Honestly, I wish we would have gotten Thor on one of these during the game. He was going, but the Cal State Fullerton guy who was just going. I mean, he was going crazy for 9 innings, man. I give my tip of the cap to that guy. He brought the juice from pitch one to the end of the game. He was rocking the whole game. And that's what it's about, man. So definitely, gotta start your local. Gotta support, and so we'll definitely be live from the champ after the World Cup in July. You said, right? Is when they come back. That's right. So look forward to that for the people.
Because the U.S. team is going to be using the Great Park, and I think the champ as a training ground.
That's right.
Is their base camp, I should say.
That's right. So I for one am really looking forward to. And then, for future times, like, we can do, like, some of these conversations if we go back next season for some Big West baseball, kind of like we were just sitting for 9 innings and we just mic ourselves up and we'll just talk for 9 innings and whoever wants to watch it can do that. And then, obviously live from the champ, pre and beforehand as well. I think that's the beauty of sports, man. But then, going back to the whole college thing too, just being back on a college campus, bringing back those positive memories and I think it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, even before the game, where it's like those are the moments that really make you who you are and you appreciate, and you want to maximize moments like that as much as possible for as long as you have the opportunity to do it. That was really therapeutic and just soothing for the soul, just being out there at Anteater Ballpark and having a great time. And, I, for one, couldn't have asked for a better night, especially considering I was driving myself nuts earlier in the day. And I still probably might after, we wrap this up but for better or for worse, man, that's the human experience, right? It's what makes us feel most alive. Is when what did Jimmy V say back in the day at the ESPYs? If you laugh,
think, and cry, that's a full day.
That's true. You can't ask for much more than that. If you're really, that's what really makes you feel human. in a lot of ways, is when you can feel all these different emotions and be able to differentiate between them and you know, get to the other side of all your different things. I think that's just all part of the human experience. But
And I think each of those things enhances the other. You know?
of course, like you can't know what a good memory is like if you don't have a bad one.
Right.
You can't know what a good friend is if you haven't had a bad one. You know, so, you know, they always, you know, you have to fail sometimes in order to succeed. You have to go through it sometimes in order to get to the other side. And sometimes, you know, in those dark, trying times, as hard as it might be to kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel, you have to keep pushing, because once you stop seeing that light, that's when you know it's over. You know, so no matter how dark it gets, you know, you always got to keep searching for the light. And once you find that light, that's what makes it all worth it. That's, you know, they always say it's not about the destination, it's the journey, right? We all get to the same destination at the end of the day, more or less. But it's what do you do while you're there for as long as you get the opportunity to do it. And I think a day like today is a perfect reminder of trying to maximize each day. And, you know, a lot of people who say maximize each day, and they'll tell, you know, everybody will tell you there's a different way to maximize each day. But I think another part of that is that each person knows the best way to maximize their own life deep down internally. And sometimes we as people have to do the best that we can to not only allow ourselves that opportunity, but to give the people that we love the space to be able to be vulnerable and go through some shit so they can get through the other side of some tough things too. Because everybody goes through stuff, man. Everybody struggles.
We all have our demons.
We all have our demons, and you know, I'll be the first to admit, I mean, anybody, you especially, can vouch to this. I mean, I barely talk about myself. You know, for a guy who loves to talk and loves to talk to people, I don't really like to talk about myself a whole lot. And,
That's true.
you know, I'm a pretty private guy, I think. And that's something that I think I've always struggled with, and I try to work on as best I can, because I know that sometimes it might come off the wrong way, and that's not how maybe I intend. But, you know, those are things we work through. We all struggle with different things. But yeah, I want to get your thoughts real quick before, you know, because, you know, we're about to get back here. I got 2% on my phone. We got a couple minutes left. I just kind of want to get your thoughts on not only what it was like to be at a Big West game, enjoying that atmosphere, but also just being back on a college campus and having all those different memories flood from all the different parts in our lives where, you know, obviously there's, you know, memories that you have at UCSD that I don't have because I wasn't there as a student and whatnot, and vice versa as a Triton, but as a Titan. But we've known each other for many, many years, and I just want to get your thoughts, you know, before we wrap this up, about what that means to you, about, you know, not only college, but, you know, combining all the different things, college sports, you know what I mean? Sports, college, and college sports.
Oh, man. That's really, yeah.
We're going to have to carve out more time for a future date, but
the game was great. You know, watching baseball in that setting is really nice because there's not a lot of distractions. It's just you in the game. You're so close to the field. You hear everything. You notice smaller details, smaller things, intricate things that maybe you don't sort of pick up on when you're at a big league stadium as much, because there's just so many different things, like, you know, just different distractions. Just, you know, you're further away from the action. It's a bigger stadium. There's more people. So yeah, and that's kind of why it was, you know, it's really refreshing to watch, you know, Orange County Soccer Club play at Championship Stadium at the Irvine Great Park, because you're so, you know, it's such an intimate setting, and yeah, you're so close to the action. It's like just going to like a local sports park and watching you know, like a Sunday league sort of game, but with the caveat that it's an actual professional, it's a professional, you know, professional league and professional players. So it's like the best of both worlds in that sense, and that was very similar to tonight's experience at Anteater Ballpark, and it's nice. Kind of like it's kind of refreshing to watch a game like that.
Yeah, it's what sports were supposed to be, right?
And it's like, I think on the way to the game, you know, I said it's like it's sport in its purest form.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was everything that we said it was going to be as far as on the field, too. Small ball, pitching, defense, bunts, moving the runner over, putting the ball in play. It was just perfect West Coast college
First
baseball.
To third, slapping the ball the other way.
Hitting the ball up the middle. There wasn't a single home run tonight. It was just good old-fashioned collegiate West Coast baseball between two teams fighting for their seasons. I wish the Tritons a lot of luck tomorrow night against UCSB.
Oh, we're going to need it.
That's a really good team, man.
UC Santa Barbara is... Oh, man, that's going to be tough.
That's a great baseball program, man. And I'm hoping my Titans can get back. It's a proud program with a lot of history that's won a College World Series in our lifetime. I mean, we were a lot younger, but, there's no reason why Cal State Fullerton can't be one of the premier baseball programs in the country, regardless of the new age NIL. I mean, Santa Barbara's proven it, in recent years. I mean, they've just done an amazing job consistently churning out big league talent, whether it's on the mound, and then even recently they've had better lineups in the last couple of years as well. That's a great program, man. I give a lot of credit to their manager, who's been there and just been one of the best developers of talent in the country for a lot of years now.
Shout out our boy Michael McGreevy.
Yeah, Michael McGreevy, Tyler Bremner, Shane Bieber, and then this Jackson, Florida kid's gonna get a lot of propaganda, man. I mean, you don't have stats like that, for one, and then on top of that, it's like when you have some people have the stats, some people have the eye test, and when you've got both, you don't have to overcomplicate it. That guy, we'll talk a lot about him come not only next week when we preview the college baseball postseason with the bracket coming out on Monday, but we'll talk about the MLB draft coming up All-Star Weekend in July in Philadelphia. There's a lot of prospects we want to dive into across the country, not only collegiately, but then, even some of the top high school prospects as well. And, then the farm system deep dive that we'll do. But a night like tonight really, really makes you feel alive. It puts a lot of things in perspective. And, sometimes you can drive yourself nuts and give yourself self-induced anxiety and heart attacks. And, you can feel like you're about to die.
We all do it, man.
And we all do it. And, you feel the chest tightness. And, the left side of your chest goes numb. You feel like you're having a heart attack. You struggle to breathe. You think, man, am I dying?
You're just living.
You're just living. And that's part of the human experience. And so from this guy right here, who's been kind enough to be a part of this couple-hour journey, and, from myself, D. Neghabat, go back to college, man. It's been the Unfiltered Report.
Brought to you by Triton and Titan.
Yeah, brought to you by a Triton and a Titan. Good luck to the Tritons tomorrow against the Gauchos. And we'll see about the Titans, man. I think the Unfiltered Report might need to... Sorry about that. But yeah, the Titans and the Tritons, man. I hope my Titans are able to get back to it, and good luck to the Tritons. But my name is Ryan. This is my guy D over here. Shout out to the Unfiltered Report family, and to anybody out there. Stay safe. Just, hug your loved ones and maximize every second when you get the shot. And we'll see you. We got some more stuff coming up throughout the weekend. We got some stuff tomorrow to look forward to, and then Sunday we got the inaugural FIFA tournament. Knock on wood, this guy's going to be there. Looking forward to it. Cheers.